the Divorced Girl Smiling Podcast with your host, Jackie Pilosoff.
No one should have to go through a divorce feeling alone and isolated. That's why I created the Divorced Girl Smiling Podcast. Every show is 30 minutes, and the guests are my Divorced Girl Smiling trusted professionals. They're so wonderful. Financial advisors, divorce attorneys, mediators, divorce coaches, therapists, and more. We talk about every subject that you can even think of having to do with divorce. The podcast is meant to empower you and inspire you and make you feel really, really confident so that you can have a good divorce outcome and a great post-divorce life. You can find the Divorced Girl Smiling Podcast pretty much anywhere podcasts can be found, and always at divorcedgirlsmiling.com. So grab a cup of coffee or a glass of wine and start smiling. Before we get started, I want to say something about the upcoming holidays. Co-parenting during the holidays with someone who struggles with alcohol can leave you feeling anything but merry and bright. So I want to tell you about Soberlink. Soberlink breathalyzers are designed to notify you immediately if a co-parent is drinking. It gives you peace of mind when your kids are with your ex during a time that's already hectic. Here's how Soberlink works. Your co-parent will test at scheduled times throughout the day, and the portable device's built-in facial recognition will confirm that it's really them taking the test. Tamper sensors make sure there's no attempts to cheat, and your co-parent's test results are then sent directly to your phone or email so you know for sure that your kids are with a sober parent. I love Soberlink. It's reliable, it's easy to use, it's widely recognized as the top alcohol monitoring tool in family law, and it especially because of its court admissibility. If you sign up for Soberlink, go to soberlink.com/DGS for Divorced Girl Smiling, you get a $100 gift card. I also want to tell you about a wonderful divorce attorney named Katherine Becker Good. She's the founder of her Massachusetts-based law practice, the Law Office of Katherine Becker Good. She has been a divorce attorney for over 30 years, and she is so trustworthy, so smart, very calm, and she prefers trying to settle cases via mediation. Katherine is wonderful. She's really well respected. She's really warm and personable. I've met her and I've known her now for a while. If you want to learn more, you can find her at cbgoodlaw.com. And you can find both Soberlink and Katherine in the Trusted Professional section of Divorced Girl Smiling. I've been divorced since 2008. The story I'm about to tell you might seem familiar to you because maybe it's your same situation. I got separated in 2007. I basically took my wedding ring off because I was like pissed, angry, hurt, traumatized, upset, and I didn't want to wear it. It sat in a drawer for 4 years. And then I decided to sell it. And so if you're listening to this and you're thinking, what should I do with my wedding rings? This is a great episode for you. And my guest and I are going to talk about different stories, different options, when the right time is to sell, what you can do with the money. So it's going to be a great episode. My guest is actually the person I sold my wedding rings to. Her name is Anne Gabel, and she is the co-founder of MJ Gabel. They are a diamond and jewelry buying business. They also have a jewelry store. There are several ways that you can sell your ring now through MJ Gabel, which we'll get into. And I just love and trust Anne and her husband, Matt, so much. So hi, Anne.
Hi, Jackie. Thanks for having me back.
Well, always nice to see you. And I'm really looking forward to this conversation. We haven't done a podcast in a while.
Yeah.
I really think the question of what the heck should I do with my rings is really common. And like me, when I was telling the story about putting the ring in the drawer for 4 years, don't you kind of hear that from people?
All the time. I just met with a client yesterday She had been hanging on to her rings for 10 years, kind of just chewing it over, what to do with them. She, started the conversation a couple years ago, then put it on pause, has kind of toyed through it. She finally felt comfortable enough to let them stay with me so I can work with them. She emailed me this morning and said, "I can't tell you what a weight has been lifted off of my shoulders that I didn't even realize was there." Just the emotional baggage of carrying them around, trying to figure out what to do with them was exhausting, and she didn't even realize it. So it happens all the time. People just kind of get stuck on, what do I do with these things?
And 10 years, that's a really long time. I mean,
Yeah,
think
that's
about it.
a long
Mine was
time.
only 4, but I kind of found like I had just sort of forgotten about them. Although
Mhm.
I do want to tell my listeners, I remember in the first few months of the separation, I would put the ring back on and kind of walk around the house and
Yeah,
see how I felt, almost like as if I was deciding, should I really be getting divorced? And then I would
yeah,
say, yes, I should, and put the ring back in the drawer. So I think that's normal as well. But if you get to
definitely.
a point where you're already divorced and those rings are sitting in a drawer and you kind of forget about them, and tell me some of the things that the people are missing out on, both emotionally and financially.
Oh, sure. So, number 1, just the emotional relief of not having this last little piece, that's tying you to that marriage is a huge, huge weight. It's a very small piece of jewelry, in retrospect. It's a very small physical item. It's not your home, it's not your furniture, it's none of those things. But the amount of emotional attachment that you have to it is huge. So once you get rid of that, you kind of open yourself up to a little bit of freedom. Additionally, these funds hopefully are, you didn't buy the ring, your spouse did. So these funds are coming to you with no strings attached. You can do what you want with them. I have people go on trips. I have people fund their children's college education. I've had people put the money into just a CD and have it sit there. There are so many different things, that you can do with these funds, to help with that newfound freedom that you have.
Okay, I have 2 questions
Sure.
about what you just said.
Yeah.
The first one is, what if somebody doesn't really even need the money? Do you still feel
Yeah.
the same way?
Definitely. I don't necessarily think that it's about the money. I think that the money is a great bonus, but for a lot of people, they don't need the money. Maybe they've gotten a settlement. Maybe they're already financially, secure in their own careers. There's a lot of different reasons why people don't need the money. Um, but it's a nice little bump to get that you didn't put any money out to get that money in. Now, you might have put out a lot of emotional expense or stress, right? But you didn't actually have to put the money out, hopefully, to get that money back in. But I still feel the same way. Money aside, the emotional attachment that you are opening up, and that freedom of letting it go, I think is really powerful.
Right, and maybe you're subconsciously opening up your mind to meet
Mhm.
other people
Your
because
heart, yes,
you let
all of those
go
things.
of this. I
Yes.
get it. Okay, the other question I had is, I know you're not a divorce attorney, but legally, because I don't know the answer to this question, is the ring the woman's marital property? Is it marital property? Does it belong to the woman because it was a gift? How does that work?
So, it depends a lot on the state that you live in. It also depends a lot on, your spouse and how they feel about it. I think that in certain areas, it is viewed as a gift, the engagement ring, right? Because he is giving it to you as a gift. Some states consider it marital property. Some of it depends on the dollar amount. If it's a $2,000 ring, that might play out differently than if it's a $70,000 ring, right? So those things matter. You're definitely going to want to check with your divorce attorney to see what the laws are, what the rules are. Um, Sometimes it's a non-issue. It's rare that I have people come in and are like, I have to split the proceeds with my husband. That's actually pretty rare. That only happens usually when the ring is worth a significant amount of money. And, my feeling on that is because their ex spent a lot of money on it, and they want some of that money back out of it. Um,
Well,
but
there could be so many reasons. Maybe the ex is
definitely,
really bitter. Uh,
100%.
But what I want to say to people is, Anne can't really say this. Your divorce attorney really can't say this, but I can. And what I want to say is, don't make it an issue. Assume it's yours and don't even look back. Don't bring it up, but don't sell it before the divorce is final because
Yes.
then you could get into trouble. That's just my
Yeah.
advice that I would give as your girlfriend, not an
Yes.
attorney or
Yeah.
as
So I
my.
am, like Jackie said, I am not an attorney, but anytime someone comes in and are like, I just filed my divorce paperwork last week, I immediately pause and say, You really need to check with your attorney to make sure it's okay for you to sell this." You know what I
I'm
mean?
shocked. People actually come in when the divorce is new.
100%, especially if there's a lot of bitterness, you know what I mean? Or unfaithfulness, cheating. Um, there are a lot of emotions, that run high. So, most of the time I get people that have just finalized their divorce, but sometimes, like we just talked about the spectrum of 10 years, sometimes, it's 10 days. So it's a huge variance on when people feel comfortable coming to see me.
You're listening to the Divorced Girl Smiling podcast. My name is Jackie Pilosoff, and I'm your host. Today, I'm talking to Anne Gabel, the co-founder of MJ Gabel Diamond and Jewelry Buyers. If you want to learn more or sell your rings or talk to Anne and Matt, you can find them at mjgabel.com. I want to tell you that they are the people that I sold my rings to, and I could not have been happier with the outcome and the experience. They're really, really trustworthy. Anne and I are basically talking today everything wedding rings, what to do with your ring, what to do with the money, when to sell it, how to sell it, and other advice. We're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we are going to get into different ways you can sell your ring and how you're going to feel after. And we'll tell some stories. We'll be right back. When I was getting divorced, it felt like there were so many legal terms being thrown at me, and I didn't have a clue what they meant. My lawyer only had time to explain certain things about the process, what we were negotiating for, and everything was really brief. I found myself intimidated, scared, and anxious throughout the process. The bottom line was I needed to be educated. There was nothing out there back then to help break down the divorce process into an easy to understand way and help me gain clarity in decision making. Well, guess what? Now there is. It's called Partwise, and it was developed by divorce attorney and licensed marriage and family therapist. She's both, and she's also a certified financial planner. Her name is Kimberly Miller. And she developed Partwise, which is a platform you can join to educate you on everything you might want to know about the divorce process so you don't have to keep calling and asking your attorney. I love this platform. It is so meaningful. It's so helpful. Just go to part-wise.com. I also want to tell you about a wonderful coach. Her name is Shannon McGorry. She's a professional certified coach, a women's empowerment coach, and founder of Activate Your Female Genius with Love, Strength, and Grace. Shannon is amazing. She has beautifully positive energy, and she has been a women's empowerment coach since 2018. I've actually known Shannon since then and think she is just so wonderful in helping women take intentional action, whether that means in relationships, work, parenting, or pursuing a passion and dreams. She helps people get unstuck and focus on achieving goals. Really can't say enough about how wonderful she is. You can find Shannon at lovestrengthandgrace.com, and you can find both Shannon and Partwise in the Trusted Professional section of Divorced Girl Smiling. Welcome back to the Divorced Girl Smiling podcast. My name is Jackie Pilosoff, and I'm your host. Let's talk about your wedding rings. What do you do with them after divorce? How much are they worth? Should you go to a jeweler? I don't think so. I have a really good friend who's a jeweler. She told me when I went to her first before I met Matt and Anne Gabel, and she said, "Don't sell it to me. I can't give you a good price." And we're pretty good friends, so that's a very good friend. And my guest, as I just said, is Anne Gabel, co-founder of MJ Gabel Diamond and Ring Buyers. So, Anne, I want to get into when I want to tell my listeners, Anne and Matt and I met in 2011, I think, around that time,
Yeah,
maybe 2012. And they were really just starting out. I think you guys started in 2011.
that's right.
And the only thing they had available at the time, I think I found you guys online, was I sent them the ring. Basically, they sent me a package and I sent the ring in the package. It's insured way more, 10 times more than what the ring's worth. So you don't have to worry about that. Sent them a ring. They made the offer. I said, okay. They sent me a check. I was shocked at how much the offer was for. I did not think I would get nearly that much. Great experience. But now MJ Gable has been extremely successful over the last 15 or so more years. And there's other options. You don't just have to send your ring and get an offer. And tell me about like the different options people have.
Sure. So, Jackie, that service is still available. So we will still buy a ring outright from anybody if that's what you wish. We also can auction diamonds and rings, and we can also consign them. So we have a variety of different options available based on people's expectations of time, how long they have to sell their pieces, and price. People that have more time and who want to really maximize the amount they're gonna see out of their ring, consignment is definitely the way to go. I do, like I said, have a couple other happy mediums. We can purchase the rings outright or we can auction them.
Okay, tell me
Yeah.
the difference between consigning and auctioning.
Great. So with consignment, basically what we do is we take your ring, we polish, clean it, make it look brand new again, and we professionally photograph it and we start marketing it for you on your behalf. So we're selling it to people who are going to use it and wear it as, a recycled piece of jewelry. Auction is a little different. What we're doing in that scenario is we are putting it out to buyers. Our auctions are held once a month. They are international, so it's not just here in the States. We get buyers from all over the world. We put forth, or they put forth the maximum amount they're willing to spend on any particular piece. And at the end of the auction, you only see the highest bid that's come in because the lower ones are kind of irrelevant. And at that time, you can either accept or decline. So you are not under an obligation to accept the highest bid. So that's what's a little different about our auctions. And we're not setting a reserve. So buyers can literally bid up to, whatever they want. And then you can decide if you want to accept that price or not.
All right, so I would think somebody might say, "Okay, I'm gonna consign this. I'm in no hurry. I wanna see how much I can get." And then if it's sitting there for a while, you can say, "Hey, we have an auction coming up. Do we wanna
Yes.
go this route?" Is that kind
Yep.
of when does
100%.
somebody just jump right to, the auction?
Usually, I have people who wanna go right to the auction or have us just buy it outright if they just don't wanna wait, if they just wanna be done with it, close that chapter, and move on. That definitely happens frequently as well. Not everybody wants it kind of hanging out there. I do think that there's a sense of relief once it's out of your possession, but we still have to sell it, right? So there's still a second part to that. So some people just feel that sense of relief just to let us, auction it or take our cash offer and close the chapter altogether.
Okay, I love this, and I love the fact that there's so many options.
Mhm.
What do you say to people who feel like, "I don't really want to put my $20,000 ring in an envelope and send it to MJ
Sure.
Gable. I trust Jackie, but maybe not that much."
Sure. What I can say to that is we have an open door policy. So if you'd rather come see me in person, I'm happy to have you come meet with me, face to face. The second thing I will say to that is, that's how diamonds and jewelry move across the world is shipping. You don't necessarily think about it But any jewelry that you're buying from any local jewelry store, it had to get there somehow, and that's how we ship them is through FedEx. Everything is insured. We have never, knock on wood, had a loss, ever in terms of shipping. So
Okay, well, that makes me feel great
yep,
that since 2011, there hasn't even been one time where there was a
not
loss.
one time.
Okay,
Yep.
and another question I have is, I'm sure there's a lot of people listening who have these really old settings. Like, they might have a
Yeah.
diamond with a setting from 1985.
Sure.
So, do you ever say, "Okay, we'll change the setting and consign it,"
Yes,
or auction? Okay, this is good. I didn't know about this
definitely.
either.
Yeah, so what we do if the ring is too dated or if it's too used, meaning like it shows too much wear, we will take the diamond out and we will put it into one of our settings and we'll sell it that way. It's not going to change the outcome in terms of what you as a client would receive, and you don't have to cover that cost. We do. So there's no additional cost to you for us to make those changes, but definitely we will pivot in those kinds of scenarios to make sure that we're, presenting your ring or your diamond in a way that's going to have it, be successful in selling.
And then maybe the old setting, let's say it was gold, you could melt it down and buy.
100%. Yeah, so that still has value in and of itself. So yes, and the other part of that I want to say, we're talking a lot about rings, but we work with all kinds of jewelry. So earrings, necklaces, bracelets, all of those things, we are more than capable and happy to work with as well.
In any of those ways, the auction, the
Yes, that's
consignment.
correct.
And, a lot of times, like, I had a necklace that my ex bought me, and, like, I felt funny. I don't wanna wear this now,
Mhm.
and so jewelry is really emotional.
Yes.
And so the like, I'm wearing a necklace right now if people are looking at it on YouTube. I just love it, okay? And it was given to me, not given to me, I bought it after my divorce,
Mhm.
and it's really special to me because I bought it for myself, and I bought it from my dear friend who owns a jewelry store, the one who told me not to sell
Yep.
my ring to her, and it's just like good karma, it just feels good.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between, I think, when I put on jewelry, it's either something my now spouse bought me or something I bought myself. I
Mhm.
mean, no offense to my ex, but it just doesn't. Now,
Doesn't feel the same.
would I give that jewelry to my kids? If it was given to me during, like, a good time in our marriage, yeah, then I would give
Sure.
it to my kids. But, like, if it was towards the end when things weren't so great, maybe not.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, we just talked about the emotion that goes with the engagement ring. The same is true with any jewelry, you know what I mean? That's given to you because it's a gift. So it carries some amount of an emotional attachment regardless of the type of jewelry that it is.
Okay, another question. Let's get into these fake diamonds that are like so big right now. So, all these younger couples, for people listening, are buying these diamonds that are like manufactured. They're not even real. I'm really against it, but it's kind of a fad now. How is that affecting the ring sales in your world, Anne?
Yeah, so the lab grown diamond market has completely exploded. The younger generation loves these stones. No question. They are technically diamonds, so the material is the same. They look the same, they sparkle the same, they feel the same. Everything about them is the same. The difference is the process in which they're grown. So lab-grown diamonds are manufactured in a lab by humans. Earth mine diamonds are, take millions of years under heat and pressure to create, and they're dug out of the earth. So, it's just a difference in the way that they're produced. The influx of these lab-grown diamonds into the market has definitely decreased the value of earth mine stones. That's, it's basic economics. We have too much supply, not enough demand, so it is driving the prices down. The pricing for earth mine diamonds has stabilized a little bit more. It was going down pretty significantly, over the past couple years, but it's steadied a little bit now. But this is not a situation where I would say, let's wait 6 months and see how things go. This price adjustment could take a generation or 2 to correct itself because the lab-grown diamond market is not slowing down. Buyers are eating them up.
Now, are the reason that the lab-grown diamond's doing so well is because they're cheaper, so you can get a bigger one?
Yes, it's all price driven. So the younger generation doesn't necessarily care about origin. They care about the value proposition. So, a normal 1 carat diamond earth mine that has decent color or clarity is going to run, retail anywhere between $4,000 to $7,000 depending on, where you go. You can buy a 2 carat, 3 carat, maybe even a 4 carat lab grown diamond that has nearly perfect color, nearly perfect clarity for anywhere between $1,500 to 5,000. So it's that price that is driving the sale of these stones. They can
For
get bigger
people
and better.
listening, if you happen to see these young people with these huge rocks,
They're
a lab
most likely lab.
grown.
Yes, if you see a 20-something rocking a 3 carat diamond, it I would say there's a 90% chance that that's a lab-grown stone, yes.
I guess I'm just old-fashioned, and I really see the value in these other stones, the earth
Sure.
grown, and I just feel like this is such I'm so glad we're talking about it because if I was getting divorced right now, I would sell my diamond for this reason alone because it could go down even more. So
Yeah, it's
maybe you're
hard to
not
know
gonna
what's gonna
get what
happen.
you would have gotten 10 years ago, but you're still gonna get a lot of money. It's not like
Yes,
you're not. I
correct.
would say my advice is don't think about the lab grown.
Yeah.
Sorry we brought it up.
I think, the advice here is you can't change the markets. You can't change what it's worth. It's worth what someone else is willing to pay for it, and you just can't control that. So you have to kind of let that go. It's just like anything else.
And if it's sitting in your drawer, well, guess what? We know what it's worth, 0.
0.
You're
That's right.
making 0, so
That's right.
okay, we're kinda running out of time, so last question.
Mhm.
What advice do you have for people who are like, "I'm just not sure. I can't let go yet."
My advice would be, let's have a conversation so you can at least knowledgeably make the decision on if it's worth selling to, now or not. You're the only person that can make that decision. I can't make it for you. All I can do is present the information to you on how I would sell it and, the amount you would walk away with. And then from there, you really have to think about it. I think that if anybody is on the fence and really not sure if they're willing to let it go yet, I would say wait. Don't rush into selling.
That's what I would say, but I do agree to have the conversation with Anne
Mhm.
because your gut feeling will tell you if it's the right time to do it or to just
Definitely.
wait or to never do it with Anne, which I
Yes.
can't imagine somebody doing that. But,
But you
you have
yeah.
a meeting, you get the
Yes.
information, you kinda get a gut feeling whether it feels right or not. If you
Mhm.
don't have the conversation, you don't have the
You
opportunity of
won't know.
making that
Yeah.
choice.
All you're gonna lose is some time by having a phone call with me or an email correspondence. You know what I mean? You're not gonna lose anything else but time.
I just love it. So, Anne, if somebody wants to have a consultation, should I tell them to go to mjgabel.com? They can call you on the phone, they can send you an email, they can set up a Zoom call, or they
All
can
of those
go
things.
into your store, which is
Yes.
in New York. Where in New York?
We're in upstate New York. We're in Webster, so we're just outside of Rochester.
Webster, New York.
Mhm.
Anne, thank you so much for
Oh,
taking
Jackie, my
time.
pleasure.
Love the conversation.
Yes, thank you.
And to my listeners, you can also find Anne and MJ Gabel at divorcedgirlsmiling.com under jewelry and diamond buyers. Actually, it's diamond and jewelry buyers. And you can also go to Divorced Girl Smiling to listen to more podcasts, read articles on any topic from thinking about getting divorced, every topic while you're going through a divorce and after divorce. Thank you so much for listening, everyone, and we'll talk to you real soon.